he don't love you anymore. So walk your fine ass out the door and do your head talk. Check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? And we gon' be all head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Yeah, listen, if he don't love you anymore, then walk your fine ass out the door and do your head talk. Check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? And we gon' make you head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell, baby, how you feeling?
Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times. Welcome to the final show. I hope you're wearing your best clothes. You can't bribe the door on your way to the sky. You look pretty good down here, but you ain't really good. We never learned, we've been here before. Why are we always stuck and running from the bullets? The bullets. We never learned, we've been here before. Why are we always stuck and running from your bullets? The bullets. Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times. We gotta get away from here. We gotta get away from here. Just stop your crying, it'll be alright. They told me that the end is near. We gotta get away from here. Just stop your crying, have the time of your life. Breaking through the atmosphere, and things are pretty good from here. Remember, everything will be alright. We could meet again somewhere, somewhere far away from here. Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall.
Everyone, please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Our strong bond can ne'er be broken, formed at Fairview High, far surpassing wealth unspoken, sealed by friendship's ties. Friendship and old memories, deep graven on each heart, shall be found unwavering true when we from life shall part.
You may be seated. Good evening, parents, families, friends, faculty, and soon-to-be graduates. I'm Luke Bell, principal of Fairview High School. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2024. We are here this evening because of these young adults seated on the turf in front of me, and we would not be here logistically without the tireless efforts of Ms. Kelly Millay and Ms. Lori Hitt. I confidently speak for the entire senior class, saying thank you. As I reflected on the class of 24, I was overcome by the character of these students. Through their amazing talents demonstrated on athletic fields and courts, in classrooms, on canvases, and through instruments, to the countless hours spent in service to others, the class of 2024 is truly a remarkable group of students. There are many things that I respect about this class, the first of which is their perseverance, as some of you heard last night at Baccalaureate. Class of 24, through your high school journey, you've undoubtedly faced challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Yet here you sit today, a testament to your determination and resilience. Remember that life will continue to present obstacles, but with every setback, it is an opportunity to learn, grow, and forge ahead with even greater resolve. Stay committed to your goals and true to your dreams, even when the path seems difficult. Another aspect of the class of 24 that I respect greatly is their positive influence that they have on each other. Seniors, I encourage you to continue this and build on it for your future. As you leave the halls of FHS and step into a broader arena, you will have the opportunity to make a difference. Your actions, words, and choices can impact those around you in profound ways. Continue to be a role model for others. Show kindness, integrity, and respect in all your interactions. Each of you possesses unique talents and abilities. Use them to contribute to your community, to help others, and to make the world a better place. Whether it is through your career, volunteer work, or daily interactions, your contributions matter. As you venture into the world, remember that your journey is not just about personal success, but also about the impact you have on others. Having the courage to continue is not just about overcoming your own challenges, but also about helping others overcome theirs. We like to think that things get easier after this stage. However, those behind you will tell you that is not the case. In those tough times, choose to persevere and be a positive influence on those around you. If you recall back to your class meeting at the beginning of your freshman year, we talked about this night and how everything we do at FHS culminates here at graduation. At that moment, I'm sure you were thinking that tonight was really far off, but it's here now. As you walk across the stage tonight, the turf beneath your feet may seem the same as when you walked in here, but it'll be a little different because when we finish, you will be a graduate of Fairview High School, something that can never change nor can ever be taken away from you. In a moment, you'll hear your classmates talk about their reflections on their time here at FHS. As you do, I encourage you to do one thing, and that is to be present. Be present in the moment. Take in the sights, the sounds, the emotions, everything that wraps into tonight. Know that none of you are sitting on this turf without the help of those sitting in the stands behind you. It is through the dedication of your teachers, coaches, and mentors that saw potential in you that maybe you didn't, and the unwavering support of parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, and mentors that position you here tonight. As you move forward, please remember to thank those that helped you get to where you are today. Before moving on, I want to say thank you, seniors. I will miss you as we shared a lot of time together since your freshman year. It has been an unforgettable time with you here at Fairview High School, and I want you to always remember that regardless of where you are, you will always be part of the Fairview family. It is now my pleasure to introduce this year's summa cum laude speakers and their reflections on their time at Fairview High School and beyond. Thank you.
Hello, students, fellow students and families. My name is Kevin Zhao, and today, my classmates and I will focus on our own unique history that is directly related to our transition from students to graduates. Despite the fact that it's been 4 school years since we became freshmen, I am surprised to find myself already graduating with many of my friends, since I felt like it was only yesterday that I entered high school from middle school. Perhaps time flies too fast, but you could probably argue otherwise. To provide a reflection that contains all of our experience from high school, my classmates and I have devised a summary of our journey. And I have the honor of presenting the beginning of our high school years, which is to say the time when we were freshmen. As such, I will tell you what it was like to be a rising freshman in 2020 to 2021. When we were still 8th graders, we had the problem of COVID-19. That problem continued to follow us as we became freshmen in the year 2020. Because of COVID-19, we would not be able to contact friends and relatives in person, and the new policies made it hard for us to reconnect with our school community socially in order to reduce infections. As such, we faced great changes in our schooling system during the years 2020 and 2021. Our first change in the school system was the implementation of distance learning. Distance learning was only a month long, but its short-term usage did predict what schooling would be like in the later months. Distance learning, as you may already know, involves digital learning via Google Meets with teachers and classmates. During the great month of isolation, we did meet with teachers and fellow students, coupled with communication and audio errors, as well as a lack of knowledge on how to fix such problems. Despite the rough circumstances, we did succeed in being taught by teachers, and perhaps some of us considered this month to be relaxing and comfortable. Staying at home all day did appeal to tired or worn out students. As such, the month of distance learning was definitely strange, but not too bad for us as we started high school. After distance learning, the second change was hybrid learning. This is basically the late version of going back to school, but now we were already aware of the changes to school policies during the COVID-19 pandemic. Face masks still needed to be worn at all times. Students had to stay 6 feet apart from each other. Only 2 people were seated per table in the cafeteria to prevent increased risk of exposure. In addition, half the student body was taught digitally, and the other half was taught in person. Some students felt that having only half of their friends in person was strange and desolate. Measures such as these may express antisocial sentiment, but such measures were intended to prevent the virus from spreading and affecting students and staff physically and socially. Other than the COVID policies, we still were able to adjust to high school life. We could still meet with friends and family. We could talk with each other, and we could discuss with the faculty and staff about any concerns about math and other subjects. Above all, we could still attain at least 15 extra minutes of sleep in our homes since in-person schooling started later. Although COVID-19 made our year rough, hybrid learning did help us freshmen obtain a new start into the high school years with a few extra benefits. Overall, the class of 2024 had a rough and shaky start during freshman year, but this rough start has paved a way that not only addresses the issue of COVID-19, but also helps establish a familiarity with the high school environment through unconventional ways. As such, it is important to remember that despite the challenges given at our beginnings, the school district helped us maintain a decent foothold into the early high school life, as reflected in our later high school years of progress and achievements. Therefore, our ends, not the beginnings, should be the ones to define the class of 2024. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maisie Carrier. In about an hour, I will be officially a Fairview High School graduate. But before any of that can happen, I want to first continue our stroll down memory lane by recapping one of the weirdest years of my life, sophomore year. Honestly, sophomore year started great because it started late. Having first period start at 8:25 felt heavenly. That is, until we all started staying up later anyways and didn't actually get any extra sleep. Oops. Pushing the start time of the school day back was just one of a million changes, so while we weren't freshmen anymore, we all definitely still felt a little confused. By that fall of 2021, COVID regulations were just starting to decrease, but masks still kept everyone's smiles hidden away. Although, spending Friday nights under the lights in the student sections gave everyone a chance to be close together again, and before we knew it, our school started to feel just a little more spirited than usual. Suddenly, tickets for our first school dance went on sale, and we all panicked to find the perfect color dress that would match our fading summer tans. We danced for hours under the stars, showing off our wobble and Cotton-Eye Joe skills the entire night. Rumor has it, the music was so loud on the turf that you could hear it all the way at Chico's. But alas, homecoming did end, and schoolwork began to ramp up as we got into the thick of the first semester. Mrs. Groff's purple papers piled up at the bottom of everyone's binders, and after reading Lord of the Flies in Miss Stevens' room, we became papier-mâché and maybe also SparkNote masters. We learned essential life skills like when and when not to use Oxford commas, how to hide our phones behind our iPads without teachers getting suspicious, and that the mitochondria, say it with me, is the powerhouse of the cell. On top of all the academic lessons we learned, sophomore year also taught us about ourselves. Some of the friendships we had been holding on to since middle school started to drift away, which created discomfort for lots of us. Maintaining friendships over social media, which was easy to do during the pandemic, became increasingly difficult as in-person interactions replaced surface-level text conversations. Being forced into more face-to-face friendships again made us all become a little introspective and challenged us to prioritize what made us happy instead of what felt easy or safe. Of course, it wasn't fun or pretty for most of us, but to be honest, losing those friendships that we held so close is what made sophomore year so impactful for us. Knowing this, 10th grade can be described almost as a reality check. It gave us our first true taste of the real world, real feelings, real heartbreak, and of course, real stress about finals week. First semester finals felt like they were scheduled only moments after winter break ended, and suddenly we were one semester away from upperclassmen status. Cravings for summer and the seizing of classes set in almost immediately, and one of the only things that got us through was getting to be a part of our first real beach day. We didn't win. Spoiler alert, we never won. It's rigged. But seeing the joy on everyone's faces as 5 random people struggled to eat donuts dangling off a string did make for a great start to spring break. Once we got back to school, April was a race towards the finish line, and one of the only things I can remember is dripping in sweat at the end of the day in Profay's temporary classroom, which was formerly an old locker bay before construction began throughout the building. Somehow we made it to May, and at least one period a day was spent outside in the warm sunshine. Seniors paraded around the halls blasting music, as the rest of us crammed for upcoming finals and made Memorial Day weekend plans. But soon enough, finals were officially done, grades were finalized, and we were upperclassmen. Looking back, it's easy to say that sophomore year was truly a long and, let's be honest, awkward time, but it set us all up to achieve our greatest potential, gave us countless opportunities to learn and to grow, and saw us blossom into true young adults. Knowing we were already halfway through high school felt almost bittersweet, but the freedom of summer break, combined with that fresh knowledge on how to use SparkNotes for when we had to read how to read literature like a professor, sorry, Miss Millay, helped us to ease all of our worries. Once summer started, all we were worried about was our upperclassmen status. Here's to junior year. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ridhima Aita, and I'm about to be a graduate of Fairview High School. I cannot believe how fast the last 4 years have gone by. Each year had something new in store, and junior year had a lot in store for everyone. As our time in this school was coming to an end, many of us wanted to cherish the time we had to spend with our friends and peers. For me, this meant addressing my health, both physical and mental, so I'd be able to be present in the moments that I'm with others. During my time as a junior, I made many new and exciting memories, and now, as a graduating senior, I couldn't be happier. I can only hope the same for all of my peers and any soon-to-be juniors out there. So many exciting times, like going to your first prom with your friends, were accompanied by stressful times, like looking at colleges and taking honors and AP classes to impress any post-secondary schools that might see your transcripts. It was quite the year. Junior year was a time to start planning for the future, the time to take a look at yourself, set goals, and try to achieve them. Our high school years may have had a rocky start with the global pandemic occurring, but by the time junior year had come, things were going back to your everyday high school experience, which of course means time for some standardized testing. It was the time to start applying for colleges, trade schools, or jobs, and really consider what you want to do with your life. This meant hitting the books, even if it was last minute, and showing up bright and early, on occasion before the sun even rose, to take the SATs or ACTs. And if your score really wasn't what you were expecting, then it was time to start the process all over again. Fun times. At least we got to wrap up the year with prom, showing up to a masquerade. We were all excited. And I know how much we all loved the music. At the least, it was definitely a night to remember. As the year came to an end, we all started to get a pretty decent understanding of what we liked and disliked in our high school experience. The gears in our heads began to turn as we decided what path to take in life. Getting that far is no easy feat. I've had so many seniors tell me that junior year is the hardest year of high school, and now, as a graduating senior myself, I definitely feel inclined to agree. As with every year of school, junior year held the possibility of new connections that we could make. I'm sure there are many teachers, students, coaches, any and all type of people in your life who helped you get to where you are today. And I strongly encourage you to reach out to them all and thank them for being a part of your journey. I want to say thank you to Miss Malay, who has been my rock since my junior year. In the grand scheme of our lives, I know 11th grade is only a small snippet of time, but even in that short amount of time, we made so many memories, and I am very glad that we did. While junior year had a lot in store, you can be sure that senior year had even more to come. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a big day, and for that, congratulations are definitely in order for all of you. Let's hear it for the class of 2024. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hannah Lindenberger, and I am fortunate enough to talk about the year that every high school student either dreads or looks forward to, senior year. Ever since I was younger, I've been told to live every day like it will be my last. I've gone through life with this in the back of my mind, though I never really heeded it much until this year. It doesn't really hit you until it's your last time getting ready for a school dance, your last time in a class full of people you've known since your awkward stages of middle school, or your last athletic event of the season. When your last month turns into your last week and then your last day, it is hard not to dread the very end, graduation, especially if you have to find the courage to give a speech during it. Yet, in the year full of lasts, it is important to also reflect on the first. Even though we are graduating today, we will be taking the first steps into our lives as adults beyond high school, pushing on to become doctors, teachers, statisticians, welders, or engineers, to name a few. This year was the first time we had to apply to colleges, trade schools, or the military. It was also the first year that FAFSA was so out of sorts with colleges, which I was not very appreciative of, but I digress. These first, along with select memories, were the driving forces of senior year. I will never forget the Senior Assassin, our school's version of Water Wars, in which I did not even last a singular round. The beach day we obviously should have won, but clearly were robbed of hallway points for. Or the long bus ride to Cedar Point at 7 in the morning where less than half the people on the bus were awake. But most of all, I will never forget the people I've spent this time with, whether that be my classmates, teammates, or even people I'd randomly see in the hallway because of all the release periods. I'm extremely grateful for all of these moments. So, I'd like to end on this note of gratitude by thanking all of you for making an impact on my life, however big or seemingly small. Thank you to all the teachers, family, friends, and coaches who have gotten us to this point and prepared us for the biggest challenge of all, our futures. Congratulations again, class of 2024. We did it!
Esteemed faculty, proud parents and friends, and my fellow graduates, my name is Lola Post, and as I prepare to walk this stage later tonight, I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude and excitement. Today marks the celebration of the past 4 years of hard work, dedication, love, and perseverance that we just reflected on. But it also represents the beginning of a new journey into discovering what our futures hold. As we step out of the familiar confines of Fairview High School and into the wider world, we are faced with endless possibilities and opportunities. Whether going to college, enlisting in the military, or going directly into the workforce, there is a place for each and every one of us. But regardless of where we stand today, let us remember that the future is ours to shape. The time spent within Fairview High School and the memories we have made will be the string that holds us together long after we walk this stage today. Essentially, our journey does not end here. The last 4 years have prepared us well to walk off this field with a fresh start. We must be willing to take risks, to push boundaries, and to never settle for less than we are worth. And above all, we must never lose sight of our values and convictions, for they will guide us through everything that is in store for us. So, as we prepare to say goodbye to Fairview High School, I would like to give a huge thank you to the incredible teachers and mentors who have left a mark on this class, and I would like to give another huge thank you to every person who is graduating today for being here for me and for one another. Fairview has prepared us to look at this new chapter of our lives with courage, resilience, and optimism. Let us dream big, defy expectations, and leave our mark on the world. The future belongs to each and every one of us, and I have so much faith that we will all reach our full potential. Congratulations, class of 2024. The best is yet to come. Thank you.
Each year, the seniors select one of their peers as their graduation class speaker. This year, the student selected is a genuine, kind, hard worker, and an overall great young man. After his career here at Fairview, he will continue his education at Westminster College. Please join me in welcoming senior Kenny Momeyer.
Good evening, all friends, family, alumni, staff, and students. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Kenny Momeyer, and I'm very honored to be this year's class speaker. I think I speak for everyone when I say that the last 4 years have absolutely flown by. While every year and every group of students deal with their fair share of trials and tribulations, this class is unlike any other group of students that have ever come through Fairview. As others have already mentioned, losing the last part of our 8th grade year to the pandemic and immediately being thrown into the high school scene, all while doing online school for most of the year, would be challenging. I mean, it really takes a scholar to wake up 5 minutes before your first period class. But just think about all that has happened the last 4 years. We lived through a global pandemic, we moved to a brand new building, and we got through Dr. Bell's bad acting in A Trip to the Moon. While some of the days at Fairview seem never ending, the last 4 years have been filled with so many valuable teachers, friends, moments, lessons, and championship Fridays in the Blystone Sports League. While this isn't true for everybody here, several of us have been together at Fairview since we were 5 and 6 years old. Even though it may be true that many have left Fairview over the years, what I will remember are those that have joined us. From the time that we stepped foot into the elementary school as just little kids who didn't truly know what they were getting themselves into, until now, we have always felt a deep sense of pride to be a part of this great community. We've made so many amazing memories along the way, like last year on the baseball spring training trip, where the baseball team witnessed Colin Bola give a haircut in the hotel bathroom. Or when we all witnessed Senor Lowe swim, or at least try to swim, the full length of the pool during beach day last year. And of course, who could forget the blood, sweat, and tears that went into Patrick Stafford and I beating Mr. Blystone in the cornhole on BSL? I'm still proud of that. Of course, it hasn't been all fun and games. We spent hours upon hours of working and studying just to get to this point. Who could forget the endless study guides we went over just to get a C on our next physics test? Who could forget taking the Keystones, often feeling like you would never get out of those classrooms? Who could forget, after a long day of school, just going home for a couple minutes just to go straight to work right after? And of course, who could forget the countless hours spent trying to perfect a sport, trying to learn lines for a play, or learning how to play a musical instrument? Yet we persevered and overcame and learned so many valuable lessons along the way. For example, we learned that our English teachers don't believe in giving out 100% scores on essays. We learned how to push ourselves to become the best versions of ourselves we could possibly be. And we learned that while the days may be long, the years fly by. As hard and as difficult as school can seemingly be sometimes, I'm sure that we won't remember the hard times nearly as much as we will remember the amazing memories we made. I mean, I can't complain too much about school. Some parts were all right. For example, when I was the teacher's assistant for Mrs. Nees, and whenever she would send me on an errand, it would eventually get done, but not before I took Eddie Delansky with me and we wandered the hallways for 20 minutes. Sorry, Mrs. Nees. Or during all of the second semester, I was waking up at like 10 in the morning just to prepare for my exhausting time of gym class all day. Or like how during the last couple years, it seems that extracurriculars here at Fairview have seemingly stepped up another level, with countless teams and athletes having won district championships and countless amazing plays, musicals, and performances being put together for us to see. Before I leave you all tonight, I'd like to leave you with something. Motivational speaker Dr. Eric Thomas once said something that should stick with us for the rest of our lives. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. Class of 24, we have been phenomenal. There is no doubt in my mind we won't ever be forgotten. Congratulations. Thank you. With that, it is my great pleasure to introduce our teacher speaker, one of the most adored and admired figures in Fairview, a teacher, a role model, and a friend to everyone, Senor Lowe.
All those A lunches, Kenny, and I hope I can follow that. It's amazing. Hola, class of 2024. Let me begin by speaking on behalf of all the faculty here when I say how lucky we were to have been your teachers. You have inspired us and given us purpose more than we could possibly tell you. Of course, a lot of that credit goes to everyone sitting in the stands, your community, your home. Oh yes, home is sitting directly behind you. One of my favorite memories from this year is when two of your beloved classmates and beloved students of mine, Vanessa Westman and Bella Arduini, read me their pilgrimage poems that they had written in Mrs. Appalucci's Honors English 4 class. The pilgrimage poem is an assignment based on Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales that challenges students to write a farewell text to a place that held significance to them during their time here at Fairview High School. After writing the poem, they have the option to read it at this location. When Vanessa and Bella told me that they had chosen my room, I was so touched. To think that my classroom had provided that source of comfort was very powerful to me. My classroom. Then I started to think. And so I asked Vanessa, who has spent a lot of time with me over these past 4 years, you wrote about my classroom. Which one? Considering that Senor has been housed in 4 different locations in all 4 years of your high school experience, how could my room feel like home? I was barely in each one long enough to let the paint dry. Then it hit me. Home. It is not the room itself that makes FHS feel like home. It was us being in the room together. That is the word that I feel describes this place best and best describes you. Home. That's because home is not a structure. It's not a building you are in, a residence, a town, or a name on your mailbox. Home is a shared connection, an unmistakable bond that allows you to love and be loved. And an unmistakable bond is what we have found here in the friendships and connections that you have formed and maintained each day in that building behind us. So, being inspired from you students, I thought I would write my own pilgrimage poem to all of you. A pilgrimage poem not to a place, but to a people, to you, to home. May I read it to you? Here goes. My pilgrimage poem. I call it Fairview, My Home Sweet Home. A tiger, a striped F, and colors red and black. Those are the symbols that represent us and that we wear on our back. This place is my home because it has all of you. Home to me will always be a little place called Fairview. Home you may have started just down the hill. Dr. Horn trusted you safely with Miss Sterling, Mr. Garrity, or whoever fit the bill. So many new things to do, like Field Day or Titanic in the elementary of Fairview. Off to middle school, Sheriff Farringer in town. You had AC but no trip to DC, and still many years to sitting here in your cap and gown. In 13 days, lockdown will subdue. That's how it began for closed doors at Fairview. When you came to the high school, you met a guy big and hairy. He answered to the name of Dr. Bell, who now you know to be so kind and not the least bit scary. As freshmen, it was all exciting and new, but you were virtual and not yet at Fairview. Virtual was the rule when I first met Eric, Ali, Grace, Ella, and Jack. Spanish with Sam, Molly, Evan, Tyler, and Tara. That day seems so far, now looking back. Those 3 years, they sure flew when you're at a place as great as Fairview. You were there for me when my grandma died. I was home that day and you asked why. So you made thank you signs and I began to cry. You'll never know how you helped me through, but that's what is done when you go to Fairview. Fairview is always a place you can count on to laugh, with people like Katie Chase or Braden Moore, Delson, Joseph, Amir, or maybe Patty Staff. These people and more can make your faith renew and give you a little joy while studying at Fairview. Fairview is home. It is Ian's banana bread, Ben Heck's guitar string, crowd surfing Suhas, E.G. on stage, Katie Smith's laugh, and Graham Lewis's tennis swing. Megan's throwing arm, and Ella Knight dress the shade of blue, Zoe Martini on drums, Luke Irvin's kick, all of this here at Fairview. Fairview is home where Maggie Bola is queen and Archie Murphy the king, with Amani Thomas saying, I have a question to clarify something. And because of those questions, his knowledge grew because of the faculty here at Fairview. Barbara Groff, Jones, Neese, and of course Miss Millay, all your teachers helped you carpe diem in truly every way. But it was your drive too that helped you get through and have success here in Fairview. With Callista, Keegan, Nick, Sebastian, Allie, and Maggie, we traveled to Costa Rica and loving Guanacaste. We barely noticed that the Wi-Fi was laggy. So much beans and rice to chew, all memories to bring home to Fairview. Memories like convincing Tommy and Dane to be in the play, teasing Ethan Knight about how much money he made, or greeting Kiara, "Hey Kiki," almost every day. Beach days, senior nights. Yes, we loved them too. We loved seeing you happy at Fairview. Victories like Elliot and Cooper in the Senior Assassins game, titles for basketball, baseball, and swimming, the World Cup for Katie Scott. Oh, she'll be in a Hall of Fame. Speech and debate, Olivia's state champ for impromptu. So much to be proud of as a student at Fairview. Fairview is home, a place that you can take here and there. It is the place you take with you everywhere. Home is the place you leave from and go to. How lucky we are that ours is Fairview. Now you are here to graduate, and you are now leaving the nest. It gives me great pleasure to think that we are giving to the world its very best. You all have had a great experience, a delicious rendezvous while roaming the halls of our beloved Fairview. It is the days of laughing with Hannah, Katie George, or Lola Post, and I think these are the days I love the most. How special you are, 2024, just like 23 and 22. How lucky we are to teach you. Thank you, Fairview. I think I can see, when August comes around, the bittersweet moment when I look to the door, expecting a hug, but you're not to be found. Oh, the pride we will feel knowing you're out somewhere new, knowing that you will always have a home here at Fairview. I end asking you all to remember this thought. Home is something you carry with you. Fairview has been your home for some time now, and it is a part of you. That makes us part of each other. As you go off and take on new challenges, remember that home is always with you, cheering you on and is proud that you lived, that you really lived. So when you need some comfort, you can always think fondly of this place and these people and say, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Congratulations, class of 2024. Welcome home.
At Fairview High School, life after this stage holds many different paths to a meaningful and rewarding life. At this point in the evening, we'd like to recognize a path chosen by few but appreciated by all. We have one member of the class of 2024 that has chosen to serve our country after graduation. Zoe Martini has committed to serve in the Air Force Reserves. Zoe, please stand to be recognized. We would now like to invite staff, friends, and family who have served or are currently serving in any branch of our United States military to stand with Zoe to be recognized together. Thank you. On behalf of everyone here this evening, we send a heartfelt thank you for your dedication, commitment, and willingness to serve. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Mr. Stark, Superintendent of Schools, joined by Mr. Kessler, the interim superintendent that many of you enjoyed throughout your senior year. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, proud parents, and most importantly, the incredible graduates before us. As we gather here today to celebrate this momentous occasion, I am reminded of a simple yet profound phrase: never say never. This isn't just a catchy slogan or a popular song lyric, it's a mantra for life. A reminder that boundaries of possibility are often far beyond what we initially perceive. Today, as you stand on the brink of a new chapter in your lives, I want you to reflect on the journey that has brought you to this point. Think about the obstacles you have overcome, the challenges you faced, the moments when you have doubted yourself, yet, despite it all, you are here, wearing your cap and gown, ready to embark on the next adventure. Throughout your academic career, you've likely encountered moments where you thought something was impossible. Maybe it was a particular tough assignment, a challenging class, a daunting project. Perhaps it was a dream where you were told was too big, or a goal someone told was out of reach. But each time you faced these obstacles, you persevered. You refused to accept defeat. You refused to say never. And that, graduates, is the essence of success. It's not about avoiding failure or never encountering setbacks. It's about how you respond to those setbacks. It's about having the resilience to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward, even when the odds seem so stacked against you.
Actually, the never say never came as a result of personal growth and character and opportunities that came seemingly out of absolutely nowhere. You lived the never say never by believing in yourself, by believing in your abilities and talents, by maintaining a character, a personal character, built on integrity, hard work, pleasantness, and again, perseverance. Always going the extra mile in your relationships and your work. Letting other people help you and support you as you grow. Being willing to take calculated risks and challenges. It has been reported that most graduates can't really remember the theme or advice of their graduation addresses. Mr. Stark and I recognize that ours is a little different kind of presentation and intent. It became personal for us. We thought sharing personal stories and not platitudes might keep your interest so that you would remember our advice, but also knowing that some physical, a prop if you will, might be helpful with our goal. We have a gift to share. We'll give it to you as you receive your diploma. It is a keychain, and it says, "Never say never" on it. And it will be attached to the metaphorical keys of your life's successes. Your car, your home, your place of work, all of those kinds of things that you will collect a key for in your lives. Never say never. It's easy for us, more mature people here, to reflect on our lives and careers from years of experience and wisdom. We picked this phrase, never say never, as we reflected on who we are and where we are now. As former social studies teachers, both Mr. Stark and I, We like to tell stories. I hope you will indulge us one more time. And, Mr. Stark, I hope we will not be seen as being too long-winded, because I know Dr. Bell has a time limit on this evening.
I don't know, Mr. Kessler. What are they going to do? Fire you?
Well, I don't know. I want to begin by sharing some personal stories with you. There was a young kid back in 1965 that came to Erie, Pennsylvania from central Pennsylvania on a vacation. It was the very first time that I was able to look across a body of water and not see land. The first time I was able to see a body of water so large. We pulled our travel trailer down to know where the condos are across from Sarah's, and I asked my parents if I could please sleep on the beach that night and enjoy the lap of the waves as they hit the shore. They consented, so I took my sleeping bag and I laid by the shore. I looked up at the stars and listened to the waves, and I said to myself, I would love to live here someday. But I knew that that would never be a possibility, because all Kesslers are born, they live, they work, and they die in Du Bois, Pennsylvania, where I'm from. So I knew that that might never be a possibility. We went home then, and I always wanted to be a teacher. In 8th grade, we had a career day, and I investigated about being a teacher. You see, I converted the farm chicken coop over into a school, and I taught the neighborhood kids and my cousins math and reading to help them with their studies. After I came home from the career day, we sat down at dinner, which we always did at 5 o'clock, and I was chit-chatting about the day and really wanting to be a teacher, and we're looking so excited about it. And my father, a very great man, took his hand and he slapped the table. And he said, I work hard, I provide enough food and stuff for this family. There is no money for a college education. You will go work at the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad shop just like I did, and your grandfather did, and that's that. Enough said. I was never going to college. 2 weeks later, my mother sat my sister, brother, and I down and said to us, I've been offered a job, and I am going to go take that job. And I will take all the money that I earn, and I will put it in a college account, so that when you graduate, you will have the opportunity to get a good start. But I need help here at home. I need help with dishes and cooking and cleaning and mowing the grass. Are you in? Yes, we're in. My mother helped support us, and when I graduated from Du Bois High School in 1970, she gave me a check for $2,000. And she said, this is all I have for you. Your sister and brother, I now have to save for but good luck. I got a college education at Edinburgh University, and I became a teacher. When I graduated, guess where I went? Du Bois. To be a teacher at Du Bois High School. I got a sub job for the year.
Crazy. It's 1988, and Mr. Stark is sitting at a kitchen table with his parents, having that very same conversation about wanting to go to college. And ironically, my dad didn't slap the table. He just looked at me with those veins popping out of his forehead and said, you'll never go to college. And then he went on to say you know we don't have any money, and you know your 3 sisters and your brother never went to a four-year college either, so why should you? Ironically, that year was my senior year. I played soccer, so I had a dream of playing a sport in college. So luckily, 2 coaches asked me to visit their college. So we went to visit. We went to the first college, Susquehanna University in Central PA. The coach was late. My dad said, we'll give him 5 minutes. He did. He got up and walked out. So I wasn't going to Susquehanna University. We then traveled to Lycoming College. Some students may know that from PFEW. At Lycoming College, we walked in. My name's printed on a banner. Everybody greeted us. The coach was on time. And he offered me a chance to attend college. As we walked out, my dad reminded me, we have no money for college. So he made me a deal. If you come to work at the press printing company, you can earn money to pay for your tuition and your books. So 10 hours a day, 7 days a week later, I got to go to college. I also got to play soccer. I also got to be captain of that same soccer team.
Remember I told you I went back to Du Bois to be a teacher as a substitute? Well, when I was in college, I learned a particular style of teaching. It was not the style of teaching that worked very well at Du Bois High School. I remember getting to October, my very first year. I was teaching American history, and every time I turned around to put a name or a place on the board, pennies would bounce off the blackboard. I promised myself that if I had enough guts to stay for the rest of the year, that I would never walk into a classroom again. My goal of being a teacher was not in the stars. But then I got a call from Fairview High School in January of that first year. I came up here and I interviewed, and I was looking for an opportunity, someplace different, who I could be, who I was. I interviewed with 2 people in the central office over there, and I brought my portfolio of all of the activities and field trips and all the things I did as a teacher in Du Bois. And I presented my portfolio. The first question that they asked me was, well, since you're a social studies teacher, what can you coach? Because everybody knows social studies teachers are coaches. Well, being a farmer and living far out where there was no activity bus, I played my basketball against a barn door. I played my soccer and baseball and football in the pasture field, and I learned how to run because the bull was particularly angry. So coaching was not in the stars. So I figured I would never get that position. Consequently, after the interview went, and I did get a chance to share my portfolio, the next day, I got a call from Fairview, and they said, Mr. Kessler, we'd like to invite you to be a teacher at Fairview High School. I came, and I had 22 years as a classroom teacher here at Fairview. I taught history and a variety of different subjects. I even coached track, because remember, I told you I could run. And I coached speech and debate, academic challenge, mock trial, and a variety of other different activities. I had a fantastic teaching career here.
Even though age separates us by just a smidge, our stories are quite the same. Graduated from college, wanted that first teaching job, applied all over the East Coast to find no jobs available. As a last resort, my sister, who lives in Girard, told me to apply at St. John's in Girard, which is part of the parochial school system. I said, why would I want to teach there and live in Girard? Well, as a last hope to be a teacher, I applied. I still don't know why, to this day, they offered me the job. But I got to teach 4th grade, and the amazing thing that you'll learn in this world is that Erie is a small place. I learned later in life, as I came to Fairview, that my secretary was actually in that first 4th grade class, so I must not have done much damage. As I drove to Erie to take my first job, I drove by a school on Sterretania that looked amazing, and I said I will work there someday. It happened to be Walnut Creek, because I wasn't familiar with Erie, Pennsylvania. That road was a long road with many ups and downs. I only taught 1 year at St. John's because I didn't want to be stuck making $12,000 a year for the rest of my life. I then applied for jobs over the next 5 years, being told by many central office administrators I was not good enough for the position I interviewed for. It took me on vacation 1 year at the Outer Banks. I drove by the school on the Outer Banks. There was a sign, 7th grade algebra teacher. Now, mind you, we taught social studies. I said to my wife and my mom and dad, I think I'm going to apply. No suit, no tie, no shoes. We're at the beach. So I went in my shorts, shirt, and flip-flops, turned in my resume, and asked if I could have an interview that week. Shockingly, next day, I get a phone call interviewing for that job. Walk in my shorts. I went and bought a polo shirt, so I made sure I looked somewhat presentable, to see 12 adults ready to grill me about math as a social studies teacher. I must have told good enough stories that day because I was offered the job. Ended up moving myself with all my stuff to the Outer Banks for a day and a half. That next day, luck would have it, I got a phone call from the Erie School District, and my wife said, come home. So that's what we did. Or so we thought. Just remember, that road least traveled is sometimes the road that prepares you for future success.
Never say never. While you're a teacher, the state requires you to go back to school and get more and more credits and more training. That costs, you're right, money. My wife and I had 3 children at that time, and I was coaching and teaching here at Fairview, and she took several jobs as watching children and at church to help us make ends meet. She was by my side and helped me and supported me. The Fairview School District gave us teachers a contract that allowed us to go back to school to attain advanced degrees in advanced education. But how could I do that doing all the other stuff I did? And we were raising 3 kids. You know, baseball practice and swimming lessons and all those kinds of things. My wife said to me, go do it. We're a team. We do this together. So I did. I attained those degrees. Yes. And she's here tonight sitting up in the balcony there. I said to myself, I've always wanted to be a teacher. I never, ever want to leave the classroom. Well, Fairview gave me the opportunity, again, never say never, and I became an administrator here in Fairview, director of enrichment, and then principal.
Again, roads least traveled. Why would I ever want to leave the classroom? That's what we love. But again, the same as Mr. Kessler, somebody believed in me and encouraged me to get my administration degree. Same story, at that time, I was coaching, teaching, and had 2 children. I didn't have time to go to school. But just like Mrs. Kessler, Mrs. Stark said, "We got this." Again, people often told me, "You're not the right person." Until one lucky day, I had an offer to apply for an assistant principal's job in Girard, the same district that once said I was not good enough.
I never thought I would leave Fairview. Actually, my wife told me that if I got a bruise or a cut, that I would bleed red and black. But the opportunity to go to General McLean, the opportunity to go to General McLean came for me to do a job that I love and work in curriculum. I did, and I was there for 5 years. And then the superintendency here at Fairview came open in 2001. They did 2 searches for a new superintendent, much like they just completed when Dr. Stark was hired. I did not apply. I did not think that Fairview would accept me, a farmer from central Pennsylvania, what we call schlups from central Pennsylvania, to be the superintendent of Fairview, the leading school district in northwestern Pennsylvania. But the interim superintendent who was here, Mr. John Leuenberger, called me at General McLean and said, "Please put your application in." I did. And the place that I thought who would never hire me as a superintendent hired me as their superintendent. And I loved that job for 8 years until I retired.
Actually, I think the words were, Mr. Kessler, "Where is your application?"
Yes.
So with that, I also had an opportunity. I was at a conference as a teacher, and it was nighttime, and at conferences at nighttime, obviously you go out to eat. I was approached by a friend and a colleague that I had met through conferences and just being a teacher. And he asked me, "Would you be interested in teaching a college course as an adjunct professor?" I looked at him and said, "Why me? I'm just a poor schlup from central PA." I said, "I'm not ready for that." This person happens to be Mr. Kessler. He believed in me back then, so I was able to get back to what I love most, and that was teaching others.
I really never thought I would have a career outside of this place or outside of public education. But when I retired, I got a call from Gannon and Mercyhurst and had the opportunity to serve both as a director of graduate education and supervisor of student teachers.
So fast forward, it is 2023, and the superintendent job comes open in Fairview. I told my wife, I can't apply at Fairview. Fairview's the best school district in almost all of Pennsylvania, but more importantly, Erie, Pennsylvania. So I didn't apply right away. But I had a friend reach out and say, "You have to apply. They need somebody like you." Again, I said, "I am not somebody Fairview would hire." So, what did I do? In the end, before the midnight hour, when it was due, I put my application in. Through 3 grueling rounds from the school board here in Fairview, I was asked if I would be honored to take the superintendent position at Fairview. I must tell you, when Mr. Lyons called me with that information, I fell out of my chair. A simple man from Central PA, why would they ever want me? What I learned very quickly is I was very similar to a man who is a legend at Fairview and made Fairview what it is today. So with that, I took the job and am honored to be the superintendent.
Never would I thought I would ever be back at Fairview once I retired in 2009. But they called me back to be the interim superintendent, and that's when I got the opportunity to walk the halls and meet many, many of you. Some people saw in me things that I did not see. They gave me guidance, money, emotional and spiritual support. And they gave me emotional support to plunge into the unknown.
Mr. Kessler, it is crazy to think about what would have happened in our lives if we stopped when somebody told us we would never. So students, as you leave these halls and step out into the world beyond, remember that the journey ahead will be filled with ups and downs. There will be moments of triumph, moments of defeat. There will be times when you question whether you have what it takes to achieve your goals. But in those moments of doubt, I urge you to remember this.
Never say never.
Class of 2024, you're next. My name is Jim Lyons, and I have the opportunity to serve on the Fairview School Board. And on behalf of the School District Board of Directors, I congratulate you on your graduation from Fairview High School. Like you here today, I've known and followed this class for many years, and I'm extremely honored to have the opportunity to speak on this wonderful and celebratory occasion. I also congratulate your parents, families, neighbors, teachers and administrators, and our entire Fairview community for playing a significant role in your achievements. Your community has invested in you, and why? Because you're 100% worth it. So here you all are at the end of one chapter, but your page will turn to the next one tomorrow. Consider the notion that change is constant. Change is all around us. From the very first day you stepped into kindergarten to this moment tonight, you have been in a state of perpetual change. Each lesson learned, each challenge overcome, and each friendship made has stepped you and shaped you into who you are today. We all know that change is an inevitable part of life. As we leave here and venture into the next chapter, we know you will encounter many new changes, new environments, new responsibilities, new opportunities, but instead of fearing change, recognize it as natural, exciting, and essential part of our growth. Author Robin Sharma says that all change is hard at first, it's messy in the middle, and it's gorgeous at the end. I urge you all to be open to change. As much as we'd like it, life is not engineered, and it seldom occurs exactly as we plan. There will be many detours and unexpected turns, and that's what makes it so fun and meaningful if we can view it through this lens. And it's our openness to these changes that will define your journey. It's openness that allows us to adapt, to learn and thrive in many situations. It broadens our horizons and enriches our lives with new experiences and perspectives. Being open to change also means being open to new ideas, new people, and new ways of thinking. It means being willing to step outside of our comfort zones and take risks, knowing that every risk comes with the possibility of reward and personal growth. Change leads to growth. Growth leads to accomplishment, satisfaction, and new opportunities. So as we leave here today, let's carry our Fairview Foundation with us. Let's remember the many people who sincerely cared for you and helped you get to this day. In our world of increased technology, don't forget that people need people. You have many Tigers who sincerely care about you and have your back. Your community is so proud of you. Know that we remain there for you. All we ask is you now to be active in your community where you land. Be active with people. Pay it forward and try to give something back. Mr. Kessler and Mr. Stark just delivered a tag team of the concept of never say never, but please remember, never is a limitation that we place on ourselves. It stops your ability to grow and change. By removing this word from our vocabulary, we open ourselves up to endless possibilities. Embrace the unexpected and embrace the change. Your years at the Fairview School District has afforded you the opportunity to achieve excellence in academics, athletics, the arts, and acts of service. The future for sure is uncertain, but it's full of change and promise. Each one of you has the power to shape your own path and to make a difference in our world. So be the one, be a Tiger. And know you're backed by all of us here to support you. So now, Mr. Kessler, Mr. Stark, and Dr. Bell, with the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, as president of the school board, I hereby state that these students, now graduates, have met the Fairview School District requirements and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania requirements to receive their diplomas. Many blessings to you all in the class of 2024. You will always and forever be Fairview Tigers.
Kiara Suzanne Auditory. Ridima Aitha. McKenna Irene Anderson. Bella Teresa Arduini. Nathaniel Miguel Ayla. Grace Leah Bernstein. Ian William Bleicher. Margaret Colleen Bola. Michaela Gabrielle Bowers. Thomas James Bryant. Maxwell Radis Burford. Owen Jude Burkett. Mercedes Leanne Kanan. Dora May Carnahan. Lane William Carner. Maisie Renee Carrier. Caitlin Isabella Chase. Morgan Sue Cheeseman. Zachary Lee Coombs.
Clara Olivia De Silva. Kaylee Grace Davis. River Eve Davis. Olivia Paige DeGello. Edward James Delansky. Tyler Anthony Dombrowski. Anna Grace Eisinger. Delson Taher El Farouki. Morgan Jean Fallhaber. Olivia Marie Fickenworth. Giovanni Robert Filippi. Nicole Amber Forspring. Ari Mercer Fox. Rain Garcia Ramirez. Ella Garrity. Owen Anthony Gavio. Michael Joseph Januso. Catherine Freeman George. Dane McGarry Golden. Grace Marie Goodell. Kira Marie Graham. Evan Mark Grimm. Jordan Zachary Haggerty. Cooper James Herring. Jacob David Harkness. Austin James Hawley. Jude Nathan Hayes. Logan Allen Head. Benaiah Charles Heck. Riley Grace Hickman. Logan Matthew Hill. Tara Elizabeth Hokai. Ali Reza Hussaini. Amir Hussein Hussaini. Rayajane Howard. Ellie Noel Howells. Micah David Humes. Luke Terry Robert Irvin. Olivia Christine Irwin. Piran Blythe Jeffrey. Billy Joyce. Gavin John Kinnison. Griffin Liam Kinnison.
Ella Joy Knight. Ethan Dane Knight. Anna Nikolaevna Krasnogor. Ian Christopher Christoph. Sophia Rose Kuzmin. Eric Henry Lang. Hannah Marilyn Lindenberger. Elias Avery Parker Lamonti. Ethan Robert Take two. Ethan Robert Laux. Graham Mark Lewis. John Angelo Losa. Kimberly Eowyn Lundell. Allie Josephine Mahoney. Maggie Carlene Mahoney. Zoe Grace Martini. Emma Isabel Masterson. Raymond David McAllister. Jack Alexander McCarthy. Brock Ellsworth Mellon. Megan McKay Maceros.
Savannah Irene Milheisler. Liliana Elise Moctezuma. Kenneth James Momeyer. Braden James Moore. Lillian Madison Moyer. Henry James Mullet. Archibald Collins Murphy. Zuhas Nara. Hunter Anthony O'Brien. Molly Ann O'Reilly. Calista Simone O'Callaghan. Sophia Christina Ortiz. Sophia Virginia Otney. Isabel Marie Owens. Ella Mae Polochik. Maxim Siri Panasenko. Nathan James Pirtle. Lauren Ann Pitkins. Devin Razor Pitt. Taylor Lynn Pollock. Lola Kennedy Post. Joseph Clark Puntereri. Shrikar Rolapali. Dominic Nino Ramirez. Gabriela Dominica Eve Ron. Lucia Marie Riesenberg. Elizabeth Ann Roach. Allison Rose Rosopirski. Claire Ava Ross.
Avery Jackson Rubalata. Abby Grace Sable. Nathan T. Schultz. Ryan Lee Schultz. Catherine Lillian Scott. Gurjot Singh. Calvin Edward Smith. Evan Vernon Smith. Catherine Elizabeth Smith. Patrick Thomas Stafford. Courtney Lynn Stolsitz. Athena Celeste Stancliffe. Jocelyn Marie Tatarko. Annie Shirley Thayer. Amani Antonio Thomas. Jacob Ryan David Truitt. Aditya Sritaja Taraga.
Elena Elizabeth Veris. Keegan Emma Volusius. Elliot Richard Wallace. Madeline Kate Weber. Austin Matthew Weiss. Vanessa Love Westman. Gwyneth Abigail Wheeler. Sean Michael Wiley. Taylor John Wilson. Jenna Lee Woodard. Samuel Gordon Work. Nicholas John Wright. Sebastian James Wright. Kevin Itao Zhao.
Great sound.
All right, are we done shaking them? Good evening, everyone. My name is Archie Murphy, and first, I would like to thank you all for believing in me and electing me as our class president for our junior and senior years. It has been an honor to serve you all. 1,374 days ago, we set foot into Fairview High School. We walked into a school that was, quite frankly, disappointing. As we heard earlier, only half of our friends were present on any given day, the hallways and common areas were quiet, and we could not even exchange a passing smile. Now, we don't even walk into the same building. During our 4 years, everything around us changed, save one thing: the people. Look around at your peers sitting near you. What do you think of them? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Or do you know nothing about them? Well, I can assure you that your feelings are not derived from the clothes that they wear, the way that they look, how good they are at sports or the arts, their academic success, the clique that they belong to, or any other frivolous metric our world likes to overvalue. Your feelings toward them are a result of the way that they have made you feel. Maybe they made you laugh, maybe they made you cry, maybe they made you feel nothing at all. However they made you feel, that is likely how you will remember them for the rest of your life. Because the reality is, very few of us will be close friends more than 15 years from now. We will start our careers, move to new cities and towns, and make new friends and partners. I frequently hear the phrase, high school is the best 4 years of your life, for reasons such as a lack of responsibility and getting to hang out with your friends all day. I disagree. High school is the best 4 years of your life, only if you allow it to be. We all wake up tomorrow with the world at our fingertips. We are given a clean slate. Every day, we will wake up and choose to work hard or not to work hard, be kind or be mean, be pessimistic or be optimistic. Every day from now on, more than ever, we are in control of how we approach the world around us. With that being said, it is our responsibility to the world to put to use the lessons that high school has taught us. Hard work yields results, You are responsible for your own happiness, and most importantly, the way you treat others is likely how they will remember you for the rest of their lives. In front of me sit 144 ambitious, courageous, kind, compassionate, and intelligent people destined to lead amazing lives. When we wake up tomorrow, remember, the world is ours, and it is waiting for us to seize its never-ending opportunities. Thank you. Class of 2024, at this time, please rise. And join me in turning our tassels to signify our graduation from Fairview High School. Congratulations.
Families, you are welcome to join our seniors on the field. You can use the gate on the north end. That concludes our ceremony. Thank you for coming.
Every broken bone, I swear